Hello my friends and welcome to the Salt Kitchen. I cannot believe that I'm saying that. This is our first ever YouTube episode and I'm so pumped, so excited to show you guys that with just a couple of tweaks, any meal can help you build and maintain an athletic body. But more importantly, it's going to be delicious, it's going to fuel that body and keep it healthy for years and years to come. So the idea for this YouTube channel really came about a couple of days ago when I was at a book signing for one of my recent heroes. His name's Gaz Oakley, better known on YouTube and Instagram as the Avant-Garde Vegan. So I was at Gaz's New York City signing for his brand new book, Vegan 100. I've got it right here. And he said to me, "Do you want me to write something on your book?" And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm an aspiring recipe creator. I'm on Instagram. Give me some advice. So he says, you know what? I've got it. And this is what he wrote to me. I'll show you on this camera. He says, Dave, use YouTube as well. So Gaz, this one's for you. Episode 1, here we go. All right, so our first ever episode is going to be on, of course, something from my heritage, which is Malaysian Satay. Now, I had to text my mum about this morning, make sure that I was doing this correctly. Malaysian food tends to be quite heavy, quite rich, and very sweet. So I'm gonna pull all of that out, reconstruct it, and create something that I think is just as delicious, but much, much healthier for you. So let's start. The very first thing I'm gonna do is take my onion, chop it in half, and remove the skins. I'm only gonna use a half of this. I'm gonna take off this end and cut it into a couple of pieces. So we're just making the marinade to begin with. And I'm gonna pull all of these over and stick it in our food processor. 2 lemongrass stalks. And you can see here that they've got the little woody ends over here. We don't want those. So we're gonna chop them off. And then we're going to cut straight into them. They're very thick and they're very woody. So just be careful as you're going through. Make sure that you're not taking your fingers off. Okay, so we're gonna take all of this and stick that straight into our food processor as well. And then our dry ingredients for the marinade. I've got 2 garlic cloves, technically not dry. I have 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of coriander powder as well. And now comes the sugar. So usually there's a decent amount of sugar in this. What I like to do is use a couple of different sweeteners mixed in with a little bit of sugar so that I'm really reducing the amount of sugar that I'm sticking in there. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio of monk fruit extract and coconut sugar. So you still get that like deep richness of the brown sugar, but with half the sugar. In total, I'm using 2 tablespoons of this sweetener mixture. And now the last thing, I'm gonna bind everything a little bit together with the coconut oil. So this is just 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And then we blitz. Now if you want, you can add a little bit more water. I think I definitely am in this. You want it to combine together into a paste. So a little bit of water, and we're gonna blitz again. All right. That's looking about right now. As you can see here, it really came together. It's got a little bit of texture still to it, but it's perfect. So what I'm gonna do is pour all of that out into our mixing bowl here. And that's our marinade. Now onto our protein. Of course, with this being inspired by Gaz, I couldn't do anything except for a vegan meal. So this is definitely not what my mother taught me how to do. but we're gonna use seitan today. And seitan is it's a vegan protein. It's made by washing the starch away from wheat gluten. So what's left is almost pure gluten, which is almost a pure protein. Obviously today, in today's gluten-free world, there's a lot of angst around the idea of gluten. The majority of the population is completely fine with gluten. So unless you're celiac, obviously if you are celiac, stay away, stay clear of this. Use some tofu or use chicken, beef, whatever you would like to do. But today I'm definitely using seitan. So what I want to do is just make some slices pretty thin, maybe what's that, a ½ centimeter. Show you on the camera there. We want those slices to be relatively thin because we're going to thread those onto our bamboo skewers. And you know, I've recently really started to enjoy exploring a lot of the vegan proteins that are out there. And I challenge you guys as well to just play around with what you put into your body. Play around with the meals, play around with ingredients, have some fun in the kitchen, you know? These aren't hard and fast rules. I'm just having some fun. I'm doing something that I think is gonna be delicious at the end of the day. So I've got my marinade here. I've got my seitan. Warning, this is going to stain everything. So do not put your hands in there. I'm gonna pour all of my protein into here and then make sure you use your spatula, mix it around. Get all of that delicious flavor into all of that protein. Now, we're gonna leave this for a little while and let it marinate. Gonna give it maybe at least 2 hours, if not overnight. If you've got the additional time and you have the foresight more than I do, the longer that it sits, the more delicious it's gonna be. Okay, this has been marinating for about 2 hours, 21 minutes, and you can really just smell the rich, deep, earthy flavors coming off of here. That turmeric mixing in with that little bit of sweetness. It's gonna be delicious, guys. Now, I realized partway through this that I don't have any gloves, so that's gonna be an issue, but I've got my little tub of water here, and I have my skewers that I've actually pre-soaked, and I've also pre-cut to be the size of my grill. So what I'm gonna do, wet my hands. This isn't gonna protect them at all, let's be honest. I'm gonna take one piece of the seitan and I'm gonna thread it. So I'm gonna start by pushing in, going under, going back through the center again, and just kind of going upwards and downwards a couple of times. Again, this is just how my mother did it. This isn't, you know, the be all and end all. And that's it. Nice and simple. I'm gonna do that to the rest of them. But first what I'm gonna do is get this one on the grill. So, tiny bit of oil, straight onto a preheated pan. Gonna spread that out just a little bit, make sure that we're not sticking to anything. You can see it's definitely smoking hot. And we want that because we want to get those char marks. And seitan, straight on. Now I'm gonna keep making these and you guys can come back and join me to see the finished product. These have been going for about 2-3 minutes. I'm gonna turn them over and see how they look. Hey, yeah, we're getting those char marks coming through. And obviously the seitan is a little bit more delicate than say a chicken or a beef. So you're gonna get this happening every now and then where the skewer pokes through, but hey, still gonna taste incredible no matter what. So we're gonna finish these off on the other side and we're gonna serve them up with a little bit of satay sauce and a couple of other condiments that are really traditional in Malaysian cooking. Getting excited for some belly filling. Okay, let's see how these are doing. Oh, look at those char marks. Oh, perfect. Okay, we'll finish these ones up, clean up a little, plate up, and see how it all comes together. Okay, here we go with the best part, the taste test. Oh, cannot wait. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. So straight into the satay sauce, which is a mixture of peanuts, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tang from some tamarind. Hopefully one day I'll be able to show you guys that recipe. Here we go. The smokiness that's imparted into the seitan by that char pairs perfectly with the sweet depth of that satay sauce. It's incredible. And guys, I'm gonna show you a hot trick. We'll get rid of the rest of this. In Malaysia, we always serve our satay with, sorry, in my teeth, with fresh pineapple, fresh cucumber, and raw onion, which sounds a bit weird, but don't knock it till you tried it. And again, oh, that sweet depth of flavor just pairs perfectly. Mom, I know that this is not traditional, but you should definitely try it. Satay and Malaysians, it's deep and it's real. So that's it, guys. Our very first YouTube episode. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm gonna be hopefully continuing this on. If you like what you see, please comment, let me know, give me any feedback you like. I'm gonna try and make another couple of videos, maybe one a week, hopefully, and bring you some insightful educational tips as to how to eat best for your body and build that athletic core. Stick with me. This is Salt, and we'll see you soon. What's happening, guys? Thanks so much for watching my latest Gym Tweaks recipe. For the full recipe write-up, go to recipesbysalt.com. If you'd like me to tweak any of your favorite recipes, give me a comment below and make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and watch out for me on Twitch where I'm doing some live cooking shows. Catch you next time.